Hello everyone, and I hope you're all doing well. Welcome to another episode of Extinct Bricks Originals! And for this special episode, we will be featuring the LEGO compatible custom Jurassic World Yutyrannus. But before we get a move on with this video, I'd like to say thanks to youtube.com audio library for this awesome background music. Please also subscribe and also hit the notification buttons if you have just tuned into Extinct Bricks. Please also follow me on my social media platforms, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and of course here in YouTube. I do have a new account in Laika which is only available here in the Philippines but will be global soon. In support of Extinct Bricks, please do not skip the ads on all my videos. Thank you for your support. The Guess This PC contest winners will be announced at the end of the video, but first, here's how you can join. Just click on the Extinct Bricks icon that will lead you to the homepage of Extinct Bricks, and then click on the community link to see all my posts. These feathered theropods are vicious. Okay, so let's start with the making of the Yutyrannus. We start the making by, of course, kit bashing, and you can see here that I've already started on with other parts such as raptor pieces, and of course including the juvenile Indominus Rex from one of my unboxing videos. After the kit bashing portion, then I begin with, of course, sculpting. And this is the part where it took the longest because I had to really sculpt in individual feathers on the body, the head, as well as certain details of feathers also on the legs, as well as that of the tail. When I think about the Yutyrannus, I think of it as a feathered theropod where it actually also has some feathers on the feet as well as the legs. So for this to be able to be fully realized, I put on those details as well. After the sculpting clay has been fully dried, I then moved on with primering, and the primering paint that I use for this is actually Bosny spray paint number 68 in gray. After the primer paint has been fully dried around 1 or 2 hours, it's a really quick dry actually, I then started on with the base coat. The base paint is actually composed of only 2 colors. The lower parts of the dinosaurs is actually made of white, and then the upper portions is actually several tones of olive green. You can see there on my cell phone that I'm actually using a photo from the prehistoric kingdom Yutyrannus. I think it's really cool. I like the colors. It has very vibrant colors on the head with yellows, bright yellows, turquoise I think, or light blue. That actually really highlighted the features of this particular dinosaur. And of course, you can see here that I am actually putting it a little bit of time to be able to reflect this particular gradient effect on the body. So we have the darker olive greens on the back, and then a little bit lighter green on the sides, and then of course a white color on the underbelly. The head is actually based off from the prehistoric kingdom Yutyrannus, wherein it has this really dark coloration. It's actually not black, but it's a mixture of greens, dark brown, and yeah, a little bit of black as well. After that has dried, I really wanted to have a really straight line, so I used this fine tip brush to be able to color the bright blue colors on it. So the crest portion of the Yutyrannus is actually blue, and then the sides would be yellow, bright yellow. I moved on with, of course, painting also some details such as the nails and the toes. And this is how it looks like so far. Oh gosh, Asher is playing again in the background, but anyways, that is it for the making of the Yutyrannus. I hope you like it as much as I did. Now it's time for us to move on with some bricks. You can do it, and let's vault in. Now the Yutyrannus is actually made up of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9 parts to it. Let's start with connecting the head with the lower jaw piece. And there you go. Rawr, rawr. Let's connect this to the neck and of course the body piece. And there you have it. Let's connect now the legs, the left and then the right one. It's time for us to connect now the arms of the Yutyrannus. Let's first connect the left piece. Oops. Be careful. And then the right piece. Alright. And we have last two pieces to attach the base of the tail and of course the tip of the tail. Alright. And that actually completes the Yutyrannus figure. It's a pretty simple build and we like it, right? Now it's time for us to have a closer look on the Yutyrannus. And here we have Evie here, and he's really glad that we are actually presenting the Yutyrannus. A lot of you have actually requested for this one, and we are actually happy to be obliged. Evie will be coming back later for some size comparisons, but for now, let us continue on with the closer look. Now, the main features of the Yutyrannus is actually the feathers of this one. And other than the feathers, it really has this really unique head sculpt to it. It has this unique crest and also horns. It has a lot of feathers, so I really did took the time to add in several painting details to this one. You can see that it has painting details on the sides, on the thighs, on the legs. Even the arms are actually painted. The head feathers are actually painted as well. You can see that the half portion of the face of the Yutyrannus has some feathers to it. Let's just focus the camera a bit so that you can see it more clearly. 1, 2, there you go. And there you have it, a very colorful head. It has this dark nozzle to it, and then a very colorful and brightly colored crest on the top of its nose, and a bright yellow on the horns as well as the sides of the eyes. And speaking about the eyes, you cannot help but notice that it actually has red eyes to it. Yeah, it's so scary, right? Also very similar to the Baryonyx and the Indoraptor, it also has a 3x2 studs on the back. The sculpting details on the feet you can see here are actually really good in my opinion. It really takes it to another level. So in terms of articulation, you can open its mouth like so, and of course look down like this, and look up to this extent only, but that's okay. You can just make it stand like that if you want to create a more dynamic pose to it. You can also twist its head, you can move its arms and legs like so, and of course you can create many different poses by making changes to the tail movement as well. Alright, so I guess that is it for our Yutyrannus at the moment. I hope you like it. It is now time for us to move on with the size comparisons. The size comparison will actually include a comparison between the human and the dinosaur, as well as other species of dinosaurs similar to this particular species that we're presenting. Okay, so we have here Evie that is back, and you can see here comparing the Yutyrannus and this particular minifigure. It is actually about the correct size as you can see here in the picture. I think the proportions are actually quite good for me, so I'm really happy with how it turned out. Okay, so let's move out the camera a bit so that we can have the other size comparisons. And we have here the extinct Rex Tarbosaurus. I know you guys like this because it really had a lot of views, so thank you very much for your views on this particular video. I hope you send out much love on the Yutyrannus as well. Alright, so comparing both dinosaurs, you can see here that since they actually have the same base figure to it, they are actually almost the same size to it. Although the Tarbosaurus is quite longer a bit because of the length of the tail. Okay, so let's move on with another one. Here is the mighty Tyrannosaurus Rex. Of course, this is my version of Rexy, and you have probably already seen this, but for those of you who haven't, please look for it under my Extinct Rex playlist. You should be able to see it under there. Alright, so let's move on with the comparisons. You can see definitely that the T-Rex is actually bigger than the Yutyrannus, and looking at it closely, the head is large, the body is larger, the tail and the actual length of it is actually longer. So let's try and battle it out. Yeah! so much for my Tyrannosaurus Rex. It is Yutyrannus' video, so let's give him the chance to shine. Okay, so let's have another one of my creations here. This is the extinct Allosaurus. It's quite a long time custom of mine. It is one of the earliest theropods that I've done before, and you can see here in comparison, the Allosaurus is a little bit larger than that of the Allosaurus. Okay, so let's move on with another comparison. This is the extinct Baryonyx. This particular costume is actually based off from the JurassicWorld.com website. And you can see here that, of course, the Baryonyx is quite longer than that of the Yutyrannus, mainly because it has this longer neck and, of course, a longer tail to it. Okay, so let's move on with another comparison. This is one of my favorite dinosaurs and creations as well, the extinct Pachycephalosaurus. So if you guys are going to ask why this is my favorite dinosaur, it's mainly because we have the same traits. I'm such a hard-headed guy. Well, anyways, the Pachycephalosaurus can actually bang its head on things like this. Another one, last. Well, anyways, I had my fun on the Pachycephalosaurus. Let us now continue on with the next of my comparisons. This is again one of the T-Rex cousins. This is the Albertosaurus. Extinct bricks, of course. This particular costume is actually based off from the Jurassic World evolution game Albertosaurus, and it actually has 2 fingers to it. However, in comparison to the Yutyrannus, it actually has 3 fingers. So not all Tyrannosaurs actually has 2 fingers. Some will have actually 3 fingers, such as the Yutyrannus. And so here they are. I'm hoping that you would actually put on your comments on what other Tyrannosaur family you'd like to see next. So there's a lot actually. So comment away. Let's start with the roll call. Starting with Jurassic Park Jurassic World Tyrannosaurus Rex, Tarbosaurus, Albertosaurus, and of course, the Yutyrannus. And that's about it for the size comparisons. Let us now move on with the last looks on the Yutyrannus. The name Yutyrannus actually is based off from the Chinese and Latin words yu meaning feather and tyrannus meaning tyrant. Thus, this is the feathered tyrant. Now, the Yutyrannus actually lived in the early Cretaceous period around 125 million years ago and is part of the Proceratosauridae family and a superfamily of Tyrannosauridae. It can grow to a length of 29.5 feet, weight of 1,400 kilograms, and a height of 10 feet. Oh no, the Yutyrannus is out of its containment. It's really cold and Evie is running for his dear life. And that's all the time we have for the Yutyrannus. I hope you like it. It is now time for us to announce the Guess SPC contest winners, and we actually have 10 lucky picks, and here they are: Katper Glokowiak, Lan Tam T, Becky Patrick, Gonzan Tanaka, Marshall Hadwin, Dante Lasa, Beth Zamora, Sonia Studillo, Mr. T-Rex, and Stanley Warward. Congratulations, everyone! Now our top 10 winners!
Top 10!
Alon Studio,
Top 9!
Steffi Irowe,
Top 8!
Kirill Lazarov,
Top
Jurassic
7!
World Gang,
Top 6!
Tibo Malikarachi,
Top 5!
Sahab Ahmed,
Top 4!
Dinomation,
Top
Irfan Redwan,
2! Top 2!
the GCL,
Top
and
1!
Myanmar. Congratulations, everyone! And I'll see you on the next Guess SPC contest! Also, our babies Moira and Asher has their own vlog now, The Adventures of Moira and Asher. Please watch their videos and of course support their channel by subscribing. Thanks for the support, everyone! And as we always would say, let your inner dino brain roll!